Welcome back to Cougar Chronicle. I'm Laura James, and he's, what's your name?
Sometimes my name is Mud. Again, John Fortney.
Superintendent John Fortney. Did I ever tell you that when I worked at Kearsarge, I worked at summer school?
Okay.
And I loved it.
Yep.
We used to, teachers from all around the district, and we said it was our summer camp because it was so enriching and so wonderful, and I had a very tough boss.
There. Well, and I would say as a teacher, summer school was a lot of fun for me. And as a teacher and a coach.
Yeah,
and so
wonderful.
a lot of great things going in. Chance to explore, to do a lot of different things. And
Exactly.
every I have learned now going in, I've lived through 2 summers in
That's
New
right,
Hampshire and
right.
love every second of it. That we do things a little different,
Yes.
as every state does. And so we have Mr. Larry Elliott, our
My
director
former
of
boss.
student
Yes.
services. So excited to
Thank you.
see him.
Glad to be here again.
I believe you were the tough boss she
You
was
were the tough
referring
boss.
to.
That was you.
That is me.
It
yes.
was.
Yeah.
It was one. You did a great job back then in coordinating it, and it's just a wonderful program. So we're in the regular school year, but can we take a look back?
Absolutely. I love the summertime and the summer school. I love to see the students who arrive with smiles on their faces. They love to be there. Most of them are only there for a part of the day. It's a three-hour program for a lot of the students, and they have smiles when they arrive and they have smiles when they leave.
It's joyous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joyous learning.
And that's the staff too. The staff that work enjoy it thoroughly.
We really did.
Yeah, and it's such a wide collection and experiences for kids, and with field trips and just all kinds of life skill activities. I mean, I know I don't want to I want to like
A lot of
sell it because I
hands-on
do all that,
learning.
but
Yeah,
like,
it was
like talk about some of it, expand on some of that stuff. What if students coming in, what are they experiencing?
Well, it's unique for each student because summer school is supposed to be individualized for each student according to their IEP.
Right.
So
Can you tell everyone what an IEP is?
individual education plan. So we may have some times that summer school is there, but some students may only attend part of the time, or some students may attend more time. It's all different according to what that particular student is looking for and needs. Right now, our summer program was set up for that. We did some reading instruction in the first hour and a half of the day for primarily a lot of the students, and then some different students would be there for math services afterwards. And we also had our preschool program that that runs during the school year, as well as those who need summer school during the summer.
And it really helps with reinforcing all those skills as they enter kindergarten or at first grade.
Or preparing some of the students for their next grade that they're going to.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and this is a great opportunity for those kids. You talk about a possible summer slide in some kids, and
Right.
so these are things to really enhance and build upon the skill set, which is why the additional time is needed.
Well, that's one of the reasons that you look at why does a student need summer school or not. It's some of those critical skills or some of those things that they didn't learn the previous year, or some of the ones they really need to know going into the next year, that they can teach some of those skills.
Now, you need to tell me what the secret is, because I taught it and I didn't understand it, but the students and teachers alike came in with those big smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
You would think, oh, it's summer. No one felt that way.
Not
it
at
was,
all.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely the most joyous time.
The atmosphere is just so laid back. And the bus rides are a lot shorter.
Right.
A
That's
lot
true.
less students are on the bus. I mean, we had about 100 students at summer school this year.
Wow.
We had two campuses, one at the Bradford School for preschool and kindergarten through grade 6, and then we had the high school had middle school students and high school students at it.
Oh, how wonderful. Okay, that's a nice separation too.
Yeah.
So again, an opportunity as we talk about the dance. This has been a lot of
Right.
dance
Yes,
conversations.
yes.
Is coordinating what kids go where, what staff goes where, what needs, especially when we're talking about that individualized needs.
Well, that's just it, the IEP, right? That really gave teachers the opportunity to really address everything in that IEP
Yeah.
and work diligently on it.
And I get all the IEPs for the student. Each teacher who runs summer school has a smaller class size. We'll try to class sizes between 6 and 8 students.
Right.
They have those IEPs in advance so they can be planning on what they're going to be working on with those students before summer school starts.
Gotcha. And the commitment from Kearsarge, we also had an array of paraprofessionals, of individualized, we had our OTs, and we had our speech therapists, and I said it was like being Keith Lockhart at the Boston Pops,
Yeah.
conducting this wonderful,
Yeah.
orchestra specialist.
And there's some enrichment activities that happen for all the kids also. I remember coming in last year. We didn't get a chance to have this gentleman back this year, but kids were doing percussion drumming on
wonderful.
on buckets.
Yeah.
That was so fun. That was one of the first times early in July it showed up, and I remember walking up and the teacher, they're like, "What student are you here for?" I'm like, "All of them."
Yeah, right.
They're like, "Oh, you're the new superintendent." I'm like, "Yeah," just showing things up. But it's just those experiences and
Absolutely.
watching the kids have outlets to be creative and
Sure.
have the ability to be exposed to musical opportunities and art and
Farm
field
animals.
trips and
Yeah.
things of all
Yes.
of that stuff, because ensuring that those experiences are valid along the lines of reinforcing. And that's the thing that's neat with some of the summer school and the extended year program, is the ability to get a little more creative with exposing kids to and reinforcing those skills that may be a little tougher to really expand during the school year.
Right.
We spend a lot of time in the community for the students that are at the high school age, and they do. They went to trips like to Audubon, a lot of trips throughout the year.
Well, I've even served trips like Hannaford to like going to the grocery
They go
store.
to the Hannaford's
Behind the
weekly.
scenes
Yeah.
and-
Actually, one of the trips this summer that the students went to Market Basket on Monday, and then on Wednesday they used the stuff that they got at Market Basket to make their own lunches for the trip that they were going to on Wednesday.
love
So they were learning the daily living skills of surviving and making
Yeah.
their own lunches, and then took it on the trip with them.
Planning the
I love
meals and
that.
then
That's
prepping.
wonderful.
Yeah, and that's
doing all
part of
that.
what we do at
Yeah.
summer school for those high school students.
Oh,
Those life skills are.
For those life skills
They are
students.
so
Yeah.
much fun. I loved every time I go to the high school. Anytime I go to one of the schools, I always pop into the Gateway programs because obviously I was married, as Larry knows and you know, I was married to a former SPED director, and so special ed will always hold a special place in my heart and paying attention to that. But I get such a kick out of just the cool things that happen with the kids and how always excited they are when new skills are learned. They want to show off the new skills,
it's
and
wonderful.
you get invited. I got invited last year to a pizza party during the school day.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I do. And it's a blast. I get Christmas cards and I try to give back as much as we can. But it's just such a great piece of that. And we talk about the opportunity for that. But what are some of the possibilities? I mean, that summer school just opens up so many possibilities for our kids. So summer school happens, and then how does that transition then into the school year? Because now we did our ESY for some kids.
Yeah.
Now I'm back in school. So what does that handoff look like?
Well, it's different for each student. Some students.
You notice the answer there.
Right.
It's
as it
different.
reminds
It
me.
is.
It's not a cookie cutter program that everybody fits into.
It's true. It's so
that
true.
some students are there for ESY that they didn't gain something during the school year, so now they're getting that skill,
Right.
so that when they go into the next grade, they're ready with their peers that have those skills. Other students they're learning skills ahead of time, so they're pre-teaching the information, so they're ready for the school
Right.
to be ready. For some of our students at our Gateway at our high school, they're doing a lot more community interactions and community engagement, where they're doing like job sites, or they're going to work. We went to the theater at the New London Barn Playhouse and saw a play during the afternoon. They previewed a sensory performance for our students, and then
Love
we
it.
helped them out with
Absolutely.
and doing chores there and stuff. So it's for every student, it's a little bit different based on what their needs are.
So just picture that little preschooler, right, who's coming into kindergarten and is nervous. And, as a kindergarten teacher, oftentimes you'd have that little one in the corner, who just wanted to during, our greeting meeting time, who just couldn't join the circle yet because they weren't ready. And think of what that summer program does for them.
That's what our K1 classroom is doing, is actually previewing what school looks like.
Right.
And they have we have a teacher that teaches first grade this past summer, that she's making it look like what the school day would look like for them in a shorter segment to get them ready for what to expect.
And sit safely here. And
Well,
I
and
think
even simple skills that as adults we take for granted, like
Yes.
waiting in line and being patient.
Yeah,
And what is
yeah.
this giant yellow thing
Right,
you want
right.
me to ride? What?
Step into it?
You know what I mean? I don't know
Right.
them.
Right, right,
You know, we talk,
exactly.
you know, like parents, as parents have instituted like stranger danger and stuff, that these are the folks that are here for you. And you know, well, how do you know? Well, because we're in the building and we're in the classroom.
That's
and
right.
These adults do those things. And I mean, a lot of what nowadays in the industry they call soft skills, but are
Right.
so critical and hard,
Crucial.
necessary
Right,
skills
right,
for
right.
kids to be successful in the long, taking turns. Like
Right.
even like, I mean, the simplest of stuff.
And then we stick them in an assembly, a wonderful assembly. Oh my gosh, they're surrounded by the whole school.
Yeah.
And what do I do? How do I behave? What does it look like? Why is everyone so loud? You know, it's a lot. So
It's all that
thank you
exposure.
for this great program.
Absolutely. And talking about the buses, we had 15 buses running this summer because that's how big our district is to get all the
Isn't that
students
amazing?
there.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
So
15?
15 of them had to be
That's a lot of
getting all
buses.
of our students at summer school.
Yeah, oh, that's a lot.
And as we know, I finally everything's done.
I heard,
Got
did
it
you
all
hear?
finished, so,
Yeah, yeah.
So now, you know, I won't know.
Pumpkin patch.
Anything's
Here we come.
possible.
Yeah,
but now,
that's right.
But now we have another driver, so now when my phone rings at 5
In
a.m.,
case
it
you're
could be for
wondering,
different
This
reasons.
is the new driver. Yeah, we're
you
so glad.
finished your training.
I got it all
Yeah.
done.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I
we're
did that
proud
this
of you.
summer, finished
Yeah,
it all
yeah,
that.
good job.
Had to get those hours in.
Ready to go.
Which is so, again, as a side, it's so funny of a process because coming from Missouri, and you always know where you come
Yeah.
from. You get your license, you get hired by a district, you're rolling.
Right.
In New Hampshire, there was all these different steps.
Right.
So they had to treat me like I was a brand new driver, even though I have driven a bus
Right,
for years. So I
right.
get in the bus and they're like, okay, let's go. I had to do 4 hours of driving behind the wheel
Oh my
with the
gosh,
with the
okay.
instructor and the trainer. And we get out, we pull out of the parking lot. I was down in Peterborough, and we turn and go, and I hear from behind me goes, "Oh, we're gonna be fine."
Yeah, right.
Like within the first
done
20
this
seconds
before,
of driving, she's
exactly.
like, she knew what was going on. I didn't have to overcorrect. So I'm excited to be able to do some of that
I'm so
stuff
glad.
and provide that.
Right, and that exposure to
listen,
the kids, and yeah,
You know,
that's
we talk about Larry and all the many
Yeah.
hats, but he's also the transportation contact and,
I
those
know,
things. So
it's a lot.
he and I spend a lot of time talking about a lot of stuff.
Yes, we do.
So it's a good
see on
thing.
your speed dial, I assume, right?
It goes Sherry, my wife first. Larry is 2 or 3. Michael Bissett's in there. You're number 1 in my heart.
There we go. So, heard that before. Huh? Okay, so Mr. Elliott, we have a minute to wrap up. So
All right.
tell us, just summarize the importance of summer. Why do we do that program? And now here we are in the school year, but it was a great summer for you. What makes it great for the kids?
I just think having the kids ready to go to start the next school year, whether it is gaining the skills that they didn't get or previewing the material or just being ready for school.
That's right.
Students are ready.
The process of learning, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And always investing. That it doesn't for us. People may step away from a kid's time,
Sure.
but then we have another set of adults that are willing to step in because we're going to make sure that
It's
we've got
wonderful.
you from once you're ours, you're ours.
Absolutely.
You've gotta
Part
make
of the
sure you're
Pure Touch
successful.
family,
100%.
right? Yeah, Larry, thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank
We
you for
appreciate
inviting
it.
me again.
Yeah, we'll have you back because you have so much information to talk about.
Be
So.
awesome. We've got
Yeah.
next segment. We got Mr. Bissett coming in talking, and then
Okay.
after that you'll be gone, but you
Yeah.
get to miss
watch
the
and
torture
ask the
the torture
superintendent.
question, and I always
Torture
get
chamber.
All right.
We'll go from there. But thanks so much for
Yeah,
all
thanks
you
so
do.
much,
Thank you.
Larry. We appreciate you greatly. Yeah. So many good things going on.
Always. And
It's
what
so
a great
exciting.
opportunity, which is why, for me, I'm sorry, but if you, as a superintendent, if you can't be excited at all the really awesome
Yeah.
things that are taking place, we have our battles. There are
Absolutely.
things that we can do better. There are always better opportunities to communicate or decisions, hindsight's 20/20 as we look at that. But a chance to really highlight and showcase from the people that are actually leading the
Right.
charge or
Exactly.
driving the systems, they always do such a much better job than I ever could in doing that. And
Well,
I love what I do every day.
I know you do. I know you do. And I tell you, our next guest, Michael Bissett, is such a great storyteller and offers great insights. So
Always a fun with him.
Yes.
We're looking forward to see what he says and as we get the school year off and going. So.
absolutely. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment on
The Cougar Chronicle.